There, I'm the 5-minute woodworker, and today I want to talk to you about my Ridgid R4512 cast iron table saw. And I've only got 5 minutes, so let's get to it. So this is the Ridgid R4512 cast iron 10-inch 13-amp table saw. I purchased this saw from Home Depot roughly 4 years ago. I've cut a lot of wood on it: hardwood, plywood, cheap wood, pallet wood, any wood I could get a hold of. I'm going to talk to you for just a minute about setup, power of the table saw, 3 things I like about it, and 3 things I don't like about it. So I personally set up this table saw completely by myself. I would not suggest that. You can piece together all the pieces yourself: the fence, the wings, even the base. But when it comes time to flip the saw over, everything will be attached except for the fences. The heavy cast iron top will be attached to the base. It's pretty difficult. Setup for me took roughly maybe 3 hours, just because I was a little more methodical. The instructions were okay, the packaging was okay, everything was covered in shipping grease. I went through a lot of acetone and paint thinner. Probably didn't need to, but I did anyway because I knew that I would protect it from rust later down the road. Power of the saw is more than adequate. It's not a 220, 3 horsepower, 5 horsepower industrial cabinet saw. It's a contractor saw, not even a hybrid saw. You can bog it down, especially using a combination blade when you should be switching to a rip blade, but I often don't. I've bogged it down with pressure treated wood, 1.5 inches thick, which is normal. Probably shouldn't be cutting that on this saw. Should be cut on a more of a contractor saw outside, 15-amp jobber, a little higher RPM. But you know, I've laminated hardwood up to 2.5 inches thick. Cut through it, take your time, you get good. Not quite glue ready surfaces, but close enough. Like I said, I'm very happy with the power of this saw. 3 things I really like about this saw: it's cast iron top. It's hard to get into that category at that price range unless you look for a used table saw. So I like the cast iron top. I love the enclosed dust collection on the bottom. The cabinet is fully enclosed, unlike the Delta, which has an open bottom. And I love the mobile base. It's very, very smooth. Easily pushed, rolled around. It is a little harsh when you drop it, about like your wife's voice. 3 things I do not like about the saw. First off, the tabletop is not completely flat. What's flat enough? I don't know. My version of flat is if you can cut multiple pieces and glue them together as a tabletop or a panel without much hand planing work or taking them back to the jointer, that's flat enough. And if that glue up is flat after you're done, you got to work on panel glue ups and tabletops a little bit with this saw. There's a little dip around the throat plate. The second thing is the fence. It's not that I don't like it, it's just knowing that there's so much better options out there makes me not like it, but it's more than adequate. You do have to watch the calibration of this. If you bump it too hard, or you know, just go through a very long project, you might want to check it before you start again cutting expensive hardwoods for another project. Third thing that I do not like about it is the length of the extension cord. It would have been nice had they included an extra 12 feet or something like that. I understand with drop in power or whatnot, I'm sure that played into it, or just the cost of manufacturing. But it would have been nice if they had a little bit longer extension cord so that it was easier to get to an outlet. So I hope you found this review of my Ridgid table saw to be helpful. I personally think it's a great value, and I hope to continue using this saw for a very long time.